All right, y'all, this is the very first time that all 4 coaches from the very first Pro Cheer League inaugural season are sitting here together to talk about what is about to happen. Let's get down to it. Let's talk about all the fun stuff here with our PCL coaches.
Yes, we're so excited to have 4 very special guests with us here today. And this isn't our typical cheer talk. This is the real, raw, unfiltered version of what's been going on behind the scenes. It was just a big weekend a few weekends ago, the first ever tryout. So let's get right to it.
Yep, and let's meet our coaches that we have here today. So Tucker from Dallas Drive. Tucker, starting off, can you tell me one word that describes how you're feeling moving into this inaugural season of PCL?
Yeah, if I had to choose one word, it would be overwhelmed. But my additional word is I feel like inspired.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, Paige, what about you?
I'm feeling passionate and excited to make this something great.
Awesome. That's Paige from Atlanta Air. So we've got Tucker from Dallas Drive, Paige from Atlanta Air, and Dee Dee from Golden State Grit. How are you feeling, Dee Dee, going into the season?
Curious but excited.
I love that. Curious but excited. I'm very curious as well. Hopefully we figure out some of those things here today.
I think we all can share that
yeah,
word.
I think we can all learn a little something. And then from Miami Meadow, Greg. Greg, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I guess the one word that comes to mind would just be mysterious. Just because obviously this is uncharted territory for the cheer industry, and it's something brand new that I think none of us have ever experienced before. So it's kind of getting our feet wet with it and just kind of see how it comes from here.
Yep, exactly. And it's really awesome that you 4 and your teams and your athletes and your coaches and managers, y'all are creating history. It's crazy that the 4 of you are here and you're the ones doing it. So thank y'all very much for being here. But let's start from the beginning. Tryouts was a couple of weeks ago. I'm sure the tryout experience was very different for all of you. Maybe what you expected, maybe it wasn't. So let's start with you, Tucker. How did tryouts go from your perspective, and was there any holy moments or things that you didn't expect?
A little bit. I would say we, the Dallas Drive group with the coaches and the owners there, we talked through the logistics and the process and how many people we were going to have. But then there was just a lot of different variables with Flo was there doing content, Varsity was there doing content, there was interviews, and they were pulling people. So it was kind of and we didn't have a group, this big master list of here's all the things they exactly need to do. It was oh, we need to pull, there was a lot going on that I was not prepared for at all. So a little bit of it was just kind of well, I hope we evaluated what we needed to and got all of that done. But it was fun. It was cool. It was different than a normal tryout in the sense of all of those things. You could tell you were it was something different and cool that you were stepping into, not just a normal tryout.
Right, exactly. Did any of you feel the same, or did y'all feel differently?
Yeah, it was almost the same thing for us. Just kind of just the different variables and so many moving parts at the same time. Checking people in, getting them on the list and all that stuff. So I feel like it was something we were learning as we went as well. But hopefully we got it right. Yeah.
I think we all went in with a plan, and it definitely had to change a lot. But I think that's fine. That we had to deal with it. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. What about you, Dee Dee?
We had a lot of excitement trying out new skills, which athletes definitely enjoyed. It just one person started to do something, other people joined, and skills were just getting better and better. So it was very exciting to kind of see people just unleash and just play with skills.
Yeah, I would say
a double back
right.
challenge
I was
out
gonna
there.
say seeing the double backs was awesome. Because you don't ever see that. And so then the athletes kind of took it upon themselves to who can do the highest, and so that was really cool to see. Okay, so next, what were you guys really looking for at these tryouts versus maybe what people thought you might be looking for? So y'all are the experts, right? Y'all are the coaches that coach these athletes, some of them every day, some of them maybe not. But what were y'all looking for at the tryouts?
We were looking at Golden State a little bit more specific athletes filling certain positions, where in All-Star it's more an all-around athletes filling a team. So for the Pro League at Golden State, we were very focused on filling in specific positions and completing a little bit bigger picture of what a routine should be before we even start creating it, kind of having a view of skills and type of athletes.
Yeah, which is different from like what y'all are used to now. So that's like really interesting.
Yeah, definitely like expertise was definitely something that we were kind of like, eyeballing and seeing, who had that and, who portrayed that the best.
I think at our tryout, it was really eye-opening for a lot of them because I think they thought maybe they were the best at the role that they are, and then they walked in and they were like, oh, maybe that isn't my best role. Maybe I need to try something else too.
I think just something from our tryout, like a lot of the games and the challenges or head-to-head competitions that are going to be in the PCL, you have to like think of it way differently than you normally would for like, okay, let me evaluate their tumbling for a routine. There's a lot of different like list of skills that are very specific, or like highest tumbling and different things that are like, okay, well, we need to make sure we have all of these pieces. Just because, I mean, like on one of the tumbling challenges, there's a list of like 9 skills. Okay, well, we need somebody who can do all of those rather than, just maybe one person who can do some, one who can do the other. So definitely more specific role kind of specialist, if you will, as opposed to someone who maybe is in the middle of the road at everything.
Yeah, I think that's really that's going to be one of the main things that sets PCL apart from the start is we're so used to like cheerleading being such a team thing, and so, which is great, but I feel like this is different. I think it's going to really drive these athletes to do great things, but also to like start to make a name for themselves as athletes.
I feel like it's a team still, but it's just a team full of experts, if you may. So
exactly. And so like now looking at the NFL Combine, there's so many athletes that come in and then they do all these different things that are, some of them are kind of funny, but some of them takes like a lot of athletic ability. So comparing tryouts to the NFL Combine, were y'all looking for just like pure athletes or performers or both? Like what kind of athlete were y'all looking for?
We were looking for athletes. Our teacher to perform.
There it
the
is.
athlete right now.
Athletes or get out.
Golden State ain't messing around.
Get out if you're not an athlete. I love that. Were y'all kind of the same?
Yeah, I think it was just knowing the difference between like, we are trying to be the best of the best. This is a pro league, so yes, we have to coach them, but you should know how to do most of it at this point. We're about to get paid.
We're about to get paid. We are about to get
experts,
paid.
being an expert, yeah. Same thing here.
That's awesome. Okay, so we'll go into our next segment. Take it away, Miss Amber.
It's talking about we're building the team from scratch at tryouts, but we're also building this league from scratch. A lot of people still probably have a lot of questions of what the heck is going to happen this year. So each of you,
Us too.
we're all learning as we go. But from right now, you guys are constantly learning, you're having meetings, you're talking every day. How would you explain the Pro Cheer League right now to someone who might know absolutely nothing about cheerleading?
If you know nothing about cheerleading, I guess that's hard to like phrase it, but Pro Cheer League is it is a professional, league or activity, sport, however you want to classify it, but truly showcasing like high-level entertainment, but athleticism as well. So lots of different tumbling, stunting, performing, like acrobatics, like all the cool athletic pieces that we see in competitive cheerleading, like that, but to another level. So there are still rules, but it is way more like loose. It's more like we're used to like, here's all the things you can't do. This one's more like, here's what you can do, and it doesn't really tell you what you can't do. So
do you like that?
I like it. And I think it's going to be, I think we're going to have a lot of fun, and there's going to be so much room for creativity when you're putting stuff together, because it's like, we're used to like checking off boxes. Now that it's like, here's more like things to follow, but it's way more open for things that you can do.
So many more options and, less limitations, always, room for more creativity.
More variety.
For sure. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
More variety
curious
for
too,
sure.
how do you think the athletes will respond to that? Because here we're bringing in a group that, like you said, is used to like, don't move your arm on the wrong count. Everyone has to be perfect, deduction, versus like, let's just wing it and see what happens,
I think athletes are going to be excited to do a little bit more, a little bit different than what they're allowed to do in the All-Star world, and especially ones that are already doing level 7 at All-Star, this is going to be freedom. It's going to definitely allow us to be more creative and be able to be more entertaining.
I think too, a lot of them don't fully, at least from my experience, like I don't think they fully understand what they're even getting into. Like they're like, this is a great opportunity, it's cool, but as far as like the details and the nitty gritty of like actual, the challenges and the routines, I think they're just kind of going into it open-minded, and I think people are they're really gonna like it once we get into it.
Yeah. The beauty of getting to be the pioneers of this. That's awesome. Okay, so I look at each and every one of you, and I just think about you guys are legends. You've won on the biggest stages. I think of the national team, the cheerleading worlds, all these big level competitions. You guys have done it all. So how do you think this league is going to change our sport forever? You guys have already been at the top, but this is something brand new. What's that going to be like?
They're all trying to be humble right now.
I actually thought about this on my way here, and I was like, we're about to go into a room where every single person in there is a world champion, whether coach, athlete, but then I was like, we're doing this for like passion, pioneer, but I'm like, we're all going to still be so competitive. Like obviously everybody wants to like be great and like end down on top, so it'll be fun. Like I think we're all I'm trying not to put pressure on myself through this, but I know obviously we're all still going to want to like go showcase and represent our teams great.
Was there any hesitations from y'all to do this, or were y'all just like, absolutely, let's go?
Let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Greg, you're giving me different vibes.
At first, I
Greg's
gave it
like,
some
"What?"
thought. I went back and forth, and I kind of weighed out the options, and I was like, this is something new. It's something that I've never done, and I always like to challenge myself a little bit. So I was like, why not? Let's just give it a shot and just see, what happens. So I'm kind of glad I don't regret it right now.
I think it's
so far so good.
So far so good.
It just seems really special to be a part of. So I think we're all really lucky.
Yeah.
There is a lot of unknown. We are a little bit clueless on what all is about to happen, but I think we're really lucky to be a part of it.
Clueless in a good way. I love it.
I felt very privileged when I got presented the opportunity, but I was like, I have a lot of hats that I have to like, just different things that I'm involved in. So I was like, is it going to be worth my time? Like, what is the commitment really going to look like? But I didn't want to pass up the opportunity.
But what makes me feel better is we all have the same, like we have different hats,
are
but we
y'all's
have
lives.
a
Yeah.
lot of them. So we're all kind of on the same page with that.
I had my moment thinking about it. I didn't want to commit to something that I wasn't 100% sure that I'm going to be able to give my 100%. And I spent my moment thinking about it. And then I knew it is something that it's not about me, but it's going to be about the athletes, about something that we can create for their futures and many generations to come. So
In the future of cheerleading, right? Like, this is huge. Like, yeah, this is huge for y'all and the athletes, but like looking ahead and like where this could go, and like y'all are the ones here that are starting it.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, college, I was like, that'll never happen. Like I never would have thought this would be a reality.
Here we are.
people.
Here we are.
And here you are. Yeah.
All right, so we kind of talked about the differences of how this is going to look on stage, but how do you think right now, how is your coaching style going to maybe be a little bit different for Pro Cheer League versus your all-star coaching style or college or whatever it might be? How does this look different?
I don't think my coaching style is going to be changing. I coach an all-star different levels to include a level 7 team with adults, which is going to be pretty much the same thing. So I don't think that I'm going to be changing who I am as a person or a coach. I'm just going to continue doing what we're doing.
Mic drop.
I think she said it all for all of us.
Yeah.
I do think that there has to be more of obviously we're always pushing for great technique and to be the cleanest ones, but with these games, it's going to be, we didn't take any steps, we don't want to take any steps, where we're always thinking of that too, but I think this is even bigger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think strategy is going to be more of a priority because there's a lot more like just different games that like you could sub different people out, or like one weekend you use a certain group and then maybe you try a different group in the next one. So more strategy involved as opposed to like just your normal routine. Yep. But then I think with the routines too, like kind of old school cheerleading, like it's so much more open with like the entertainment and the wow factors, and those things are like there's just a lot more options for exploring that piece of it, to where in what we're used to with the cheer routine, it's like you're limited to how much of that you can do.
We talked about athletes a little bit, and now you know, being the first ever pro cheer league, these athletes are going to start to become celebrities. You know, we have cheerlebrities now, but like we were talking about, this is going to really shine a light on them individually as an athlete. So if you could choose one athlete to represent your tumbling on your team, who would
Anyone
it be?
in the world.
Anyone in the world. And we want you to name drop. Who would it be?
The whole world.
Wait.
Well, let's the cheerleading world. We're gonna stick
Oh,
to
come on. I
out
was
of the
about to say
cheerleading
Simone
world.
Biles.
No, everybody would say Simone Biles. We're sticking to the cheerleading.
We're all
The cheerleading industry. If there's one athlete that you want on your team to represent your tumbling, who would it be?
Even if I think about it, I couldn't answer that. There is a few very talented athletes, and it's picking one, it's like, I couldn't answer that. There's a lot of very talented
Paige has
athletes I would
one.
love
I
to
can
see.
see it in her eyes. Paige, who is it?
I have 3.
Yeah, let's just
drop
drop a
them.
few. Yeah.
Lay 'em out there.
Start us off.
Very excited for Angel.
Queen.
I'm very excited for
ma'am.
Seneca. And I'm very excited for D.
Heck yeah. Love that.
Yes.
How do y'all feel about some of those like really incredible tumbling athletes on one of your like competitors' teams? I mean, Angel Rice, like, you know, she's known for that. So like, are y'all like, oh, we got that? Or are you like, okay, it's a little intimidating? Like, how is that?
I think it makes you want to push harder because you know what you're going up against, and you know that they're phenomenal themselves, and you want to be at that level as well. You know what I'm saying? So I think it makes you push that much more.
I love it because those are the people you want to see doing this. Like, it'd be a bummer for people with that skill to not be involved. So for those people, especially to be involved in the first year, I think it's awesome.
Anybody on y'all's current roster that you're looking at that you'd want to put up against Angel?
We have 2 girls that don't have like famous names in the cheer world, but I think when people watch their skills, they're going to be like, who are these?
are they? Yeah.
So I'm excited for that because it's giving them a platform and something outside of a team routine where they may not get to highlight those skills normally, where it's going to just a different opportunity in that way. And then we have a boy that I coach. His name's Caleb Henderson. He like can do anything you want him to do. He floats, like he just is like a little bean bouncing around. And I love watching him tumble. So I'm excited to see what he does.
I like watching him tumble too.
He just is like, yeah.
Greg, does anybody
Yeah,
come
we
to
have
mind?
one boy named Liam that's phenomenal himself, and he's just a natural tumbler that he's just flies just like he said, and I'm excited to see him compete against the best of the best.
Dee Dee,
We have a
Greg?
boy named Cameron. Name it, he can do it. Definitely excited to see him.
He still comes to mind from the
I know,
OG
I'm like, he's an
Cali
OG.
days.
And he walked in a gym and just threw multiple combos to a double back like it was no one's business.
And he lands and just
And he
smiles. He said, I did that.
Yes. So definitely excited to see him.
Yeah, that's awesome. Out of your athletes, so we talked about tumbling a little bit, if there is an athlete on your team that you think is about to blow up in the PCL, who would that be? That standout athlete that when people think of Miami Metal or when they think of your team, whose face do you think is going to be who they think of?
The Patrick Mahomes,
Yeah.
the Tom Brady.
I
We
think
got a
that's-
franchise star.
I think for us that's a little bit early to say. We're going to have to get to know athletes and kind of see how they fit into this. It's going to be different for them as well, not just for us. So to see how they're going to develop, that is going to be the deciding factor of who could become the face.
For us, like, we have a few people that have already, like, we're on the Netflix cheer show, have been, like, already kind of have that, honestly. This is just another lane or avenue that's going to, just give them a platform. But Maddie Brum and then Tati Davis are 2, like, just, they're stars. Like, and you can't not watch them when they're out there on the floor. So those are 2 that I think could definitely have that potential.
Yeah, we have Gabby Butler obviously on the roster, and she's phenomenal herself. And we have another girl named Jules Romero, which obviously I think she's known as well, but she's just a natural flyer, just beautiful all around. So yeah, I'm excited for her.
Going off of that, how does it feel for you guys? Like, Gabby Butler is a homegrown Top Gun girl. What did it mean to you that for this opportunity, she's coming home to Miami. She wants to compete for the Miami medal. Like, how'd that make you feel?
It was funny, her and I were talking at tryouts, and I was like, it's kind of full circle moment because her first year at Top Gun, Jose and I were actually her first coaches. Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
so it's kind of a full circle moment to that. So she was like, yeah, I'm so excited, I heard that when you were coaching it. So it's really awesome to just to have her back and just be in the gym and just be in the same atmosphere and kind of like feel like no time has passed by. So.
Oh, that's awesome. Paige, Dee, anybody?
I was gonna say it's kind of the same way with having Angel come back home because when she was doing her tryout,
Yep.
Roger's like, how old do you think she is now? Like 22? And Angel's like, I'm 27. We're like, you're 27 and you can do that. So it was
Easy.
awesome. And I think it'll be awesome for, there's athletes in our gym right now that looked up to her when she was cheering on Orange. And now to see her back in the gym, it's like, this is really cool.
Yeah, I love that. That's what's going to be so awesome about this.
And, we talked a little bit about, there are some of the Maddie Brums and the Gabby Butlers who kind of already have that stardom, but some of these other athletes that haven't really received the spotlight yet that are about to, do you think, because this is like a pro level thing now, do you think that they're about to become celebrities? Like, do you think that they even think about that?
One of our best tumblers at tryouts, she has been contacting me, do you think I'm gonna make it? Do you think I'm gonna make it? And I'm like, you had the best tryout there. Like, I think you'll be okay. I think they're just so humble and excited to be a part of this that I'm not even sure that they're thinking about the fame, just being able to do their sport that they love and to get paid.
I think it's too early to tell too. I'm like, we don't even know, like until we see like what these events actually look like and what type of maybe attention it gets outside of the cheer world, will kind of determine what that maybe looks like.
Do y'all know what your rosters look like yet?
Nope.
Some of them?
It's
Nope.
changed.
Nope.
I have a notebook of like, here's one version. Oh, okay, we're making changes. Here's the other version.
We're halfway there.
It's
Halfway there?
I would say we all are.
Halfway
It's
there.
all a work in progress.
None of them are final.
Nope.
Always changing. That's going to be an interesting day when all that's released.
How do you think it will feel when you do hit that final send button or when those emails or calls go out? Like, how's that going to feel? A relief? Let's go? Like,
100% a relief.
yeah.
I've been feeling a lot of emotions because I think with most of us, like a lot of the people that did show up, we have coached before. And so just kind of like not having to let them down if they may not make it, or just trying to be realistic with them, but also like, let's keep pushing for your dreams. But so I am excited for that part to be over, but it's been a little hard.
Yeah. But regardless of who makes it or not, how beautiful that this is something to look forward to. Like,
Yes.
let's come back next year,
Yeah.
or this is just the start.
Which
is awesome.
actually, this week, we started sending out our cut calls, and I walked in the gym last night, and one person that was cut, he was already trying to get better at his co-ed stunning. So I'm like, you know what? If that put a little fire into you, I love that.
Yeah.
So.
It's great.
There's people that we're kind of like either recruiting or just talking and working with that are like, hey, I'm interested, but like I have this commitment with my job or this. So they're like, until they know for sure like what the practice schedule, the commitment is kind of determining whether they can do it or not. And that has been a stress for me because it's like, okay, this would be a great team, but like, when can we practice where all these people can
So
actually
you
be
would
there?
say the athletes, they're showing some hesitation with it being the inaugural season, don't really know what
Not
to
knowing
expect.
what exactly, and we can make our own schedule. So it's like we have the flexibility to practice on whatever days, like that works for our groups. But I know I've been struggling to like figure out what that is without knowing who the team is yet.
Well, and also we can't like reach out to everyone to be like, okay, like this message if you can all meet this day. So we're having to build the teams with the unknown if they can even attend all of the practices. So that is, because what if, we can only have this many people and this many alternates. So what if we do finalize the team and then we find out someone can't commit? That's been something I'm thinking about all the time.
We've been dealing with that a lot too. There's a lot of athletes that are very interested. Many don't have full information yet, so they want to do it and they commit, but then you give them a little bit of information and then there's your conflict with life. So it's like always a little bit of a back and forth. So that causes us to be a little bit in between with our roster. If we can have everybody on the roster, we have a fantastic team with many to spare. But we are aware as coaches, at least for our location at Golden State, that there are a lot of people that at the end are not going to be able to commit because they're going to have to, they cannot jeopardize their jobs, or if they're an important time in college and whatsoever. So there is a lot of athletes still across the board that are a little bit unquestionable.
It makes me think too of of the NFL draft. Like those coaches have no idea. Like they have an idea of who they want, but they don't know until the end of those 3 days what their roster looks like. And, they can make all the phone calls or do all the things, but until those days are over, you don't know what your team's going to look like. So that's really interesting that y'all say that, because it's very, as very prepared, organized, amazing coaches, I bet that's a little difficult.
Yeah.
I'll say, comparing it to the NFL, it's like your roster, but you're also like, here, let me offer you this $100,000.
We'll get there. This will get there.
Where you don't have to even think about signing a lease and moving, or because it's like financially you're covered, to where this is not at that. Like, yes, they're getting paid, and what they're doing for PCL is covered, but it is. I mean, it's very much like part time. It's paid, but it's not something these people can move their life across the country to live off of right now.
Yep, for sure. So we'll go back to something fun that we were talking about earlier, drafting athletes. But this time, if you could draft any non-cheer athlete, whether it is the Simone Biles or any athlete out there to be on your team, who would it be?
The Brazilian girl on floor, we can take her.
Rebecca?
Yeah, that one, yes.
Rebecca.
I was like, I'm sticking with Simone.
Simone's,
Claimed her,
goat.
claimed her, guys.
She's the GOAT.
She could do it. Throw in her basket.
I bet
Lainey
she
could
would be a
healthy.
beautiful
Yeah.
basket girl.
Isn't she from Texas?
Yeah, she's from Houston. Hey, she's ready.
Can you imagine Simone Biles being thrown up in a pike open double?
Come on, Flyer.
She's little. She's short.
She is, yeah. She's
You
really short.
guys could teach her a thing or two. That's awesome. All right, well, let's take a look behind the curtain a little bit from this first of its kind tryout weekend. Do you have any fun, chaotic stories from tryouts? Did anyone cry? Did anyone be like, what the heck was that? Did anyone surprise you? Was anything funny? Anything that comes to mind?
Well, we had a funny one. We were driving, Coach Brian and myself, we were driving to tryouts, and we thought about a specific athlete, and we literally called him in the morning and was like, hey, what are you doing today? And he's like, nothing, coach. He was like, you want to come to a tryout? And he's like when? Like now. He showed up
Right
at tryout. He was the first one to throw a double back. Everybody started going after him. And it was like the person that nobody thought about is going to be a person that's going to be on the team. So there was, and he changed everything in our tryout. Dynamic, the excitement, everything. So there was, and you can see in the videos that were posted, is everybody was hugging and laughing. It was also because of him. So that was for us very exciting.
I love that.
Oh, that's so sweet. Any tears? You might have any tears?
No, we don't cry.
No. Okay. No crying.
I don't. Yeah.
Not
and
the
I
Golden
know-
State.
I think some of the other groups did, but we cut some people throughout it, where it was just pretty clear and obvious, a separation.
So y'all are making decisions on the spot
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was there's no point in keeping these people, for hours if it's there's no way we're gonna take them. So we did that a little bit, and it was funny. Brad ended up being the one for us that was walking around doing it. So we were all he's like, I guess I'll go, and he would get up and kind of pull them and give them some feedback and let them know. And I think he did a good job of hey, if we had to pick the team right now, you're not in our top group. Here's kind of what we're seeing, and that's where we're at.
Well, and
right
a different
now,
thing
so.
too with that is these are all 18 and up athletes. Yeah. So these are adults who, if you have to break it to them, are hopefully there and mature enough to be you know what, maybe this isn't my year. Next year, I'll keep working hard. As to where maybe doing that to a 10-year-old is a little bit more difficult. So hopefully the age helps.
Sorry, we did the same thing, and I guess the first group that we told that we kind of broke the news, and they kind of just stood around and stood there. we kept going through our tryouts, and I was like, Jose, why are they still there? He's like, I don't know. I told them that we cut them.
Told them to leave, and they're still
they were like
here.
just standing there, and they're like, wait, so we cut?
So who's gonna go tell them again?
Yeah, so they came and asked, and I was like, yeah, and, they were like, oh, thank you so much for your time. They were obviously gracious about it, but
and then they stood there, and you were like,
10
all
minutes.
right.
I was like, why are they standing there? So that was kind of funny.
We also made cuts halfway through, but there were also people that came up to me and they were like, yeah, this isn't for me. These people are way better than me. And they were actually cutting themselves, so.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I
was surprised.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
Were they cheerlead, like, did they come from other local gyms, or like
They had
where?
cheerleading backgrounds, but they were a lot older. And so I think they were just seeing some like new, younger talent, and they were like, not for me.
Yeah, that always gets you. It's like, all right, it's my time to retire when the younger ones are really showing you up.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we kind of talked about just the individuality of this too, and kind of who's going to be the stars. There was some great energy that I saw from all the videos. So did anyone show up with kind of that cocky energy that you were like, wait, I kind of like that?
Or I don't like that.
Yeah.
I think all of our boys were just like so hype, and just they created the energy. And I feel like they created the biggest energy in our trials, and they were just like egging each other on and just like pushing each other even at trials. So it was a cool vibe to see.
I think we had a lot of confidence, but they were just really grateful to be able to be a part of it. So there were no vibes that I didn't like.
Yeah, we definitely had like people with high energy, like having fun, but that when we talked about it in the beginning, honestly, like huge ego, you kind of have to like, it's something you have to coach around or coach, and I don't love doing that, honestly. Like I want someone who yes, you can have like a ton of confidence in yourself, but you're still a part of a team. So just having that sense of like, I'm a part of a group, like there is individual piece to it, but I also want people that the other people are going to enjoy being around.
Yeah.
Do you think that might be a challenge or something unique this year with the egos in a way that, like, do you think that's going to be tough to coach now that there are going to be individual aspects of this, or do you hope that just that team dynamic can continue like these all-star kids are used to?
I think if you set the expectation from the beginning and just say we're a team, we're here all together for the same reason, and, it's obviously just like any sport. You always put the best players for whatever part you need, but we're all still here together, working together.
We as coaches set the standard. If people want to be successful, they're going to have to understand it. They're going to have to control that.
Dee Dee with the mic.
I know. Goodness, Dee Dee.
Come on, girl.
You're going to be like all of our quote graphics, just like Dee Dee, everything.
Awesome. Okay, so like we talked about, y'all been doing this quite a bit. Which coach here do you think is most competitive? Who's gonna be the first one to just lose it this year, be the most energetic? What's going on?
I'm like,
Call 'em out.
she is so nice, but behind the scenes, I'm like, she's gonna do everything she can to put her team
Just
to
coming
win.
for your throat.
In a great way.
I really do like to win. I like the process of trying to win. So whether you win or not, it's fun to try and get there. I love the grind, so.
I love a challenge.
Dee Dee's like, it's me. It's me.
No, I think we all here because we all have it. If we are not competitive and fight for the things we won, we wouldn't be here. So obviously we're all competitive, we want something, and we've been chosen to be the first coaches for a reason.
I love that. I love that. There it is. There it is again. What mic drop number is that? 17. So talking about the culture, so obviously, again, this is like a different format. The culture might be a little bit different. What do you want, the cheerleading industry or just cheerleaders as a whole, how do you want them to feel after this first inaugural season of the PCL?
I feel like I want them to be inspired. I feel like it's something that I want them to look at, the teams and just aspire to be there one day and just, realize that they are capable of being there one day. So I hope that's what comes out of this for sure.
I just want all 4 of our teams to have just great humans and people that all the younger athletes can look up to, good role models. I want to make sure that my team leads with their heart and that they are all there for the right reasons.
What do you want the world to see about cheerleading after this first season?
Yeah, I think there's so many unique aspects to how PCL is going to run with, like, someone who doesn't know cheerleading is going to be able to just tune in and watch it and get into it. You can't necessarily do that with just a routine that you're watching at Worlds or whatever. Like, you can appreciate it, but it's like you don't fully know what's going on. To where this one, I think people are going to be able to sit down and be like, oh, this is cool. Oh, wait, I get why that team was better than that team. So I think the viewer, like, friendliness, or just how open it's going to be for people who don't know anything about it to get into it.
Yeah, viewer experience,
yeah.
just making it like
accessibility,
clear.
maybe.
Yeah.
It's gonna be easier to follow
Yeah.
for the general public that doesn't know like all the ins and outs of cheerleading. So
Yeah.
I think the routines are going to be exciting because we're able to really just use all of our creativity, and we're not having to go off of you need this many this and you need this many that. We're able to just let everyone enjoy watching a show. So
I'm excited to see.
And we don't have to make big
Yeah.
boys jump. So it actually could look good.
Everyone's happy.
The jump section won't ruin the whole routine. So in the long run, looking long term, way down the road, when you're thinking about, contracts, NIL, sponsorships, what do you think this is going to do for these athletes in the long run?
I mean, I think it's possible, but also my hope is that, hopefully even within like 5 years, people can literally, this is their career. They don't have to have another job. Like, they can be a professional cheerleader for however long that career life lasts, but like, that is their job. And they can, like you said, have NIL or brand deals or like be ambassadors for a brand and kind of do, like, I could be the first Nike sponsored pro cheerleader. Like, things like that, like, it just would be super cool to see.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah, I didn't even
kinda
think
feel the
about that
same
till
way.
this moment, but I was like, that'd
Yeah.
be sick.
That would be absolutely sick.
And if you think about our sport, we have such passionate athletes that are just like devote their lives to this, you know, in the long run. So to see it kind of pay off in the sense of, in the future, I feel like that's something so rewarding to see.
Well, I think it's cool to, like, you have athletes right now that do that. They pour their life into this, not getting paid a dime. They just do it because they enjoy it. So now you add the pro level aspect to it, and then the getting paid and being treated like an actual athlete.
Cool sense of credibility.
Yeah, I think it could explode and could be huge for cheerleading.
That's why we're doing it.
Yeah, that's why we're doing it. That's why we're here.
All right, so let's have some fun now. This has been fun, but we're going to take it next level. Rapid fire. Nothing is off limits here. All right, we're going to go down the line, every single one of you. First up, what is the wildest rumor you've already heard about the PCL that you're like, where'd they get that from?
I actually haven't heard any yet,
Okay, well, that's a good sign.
but I'm not much of a social media person, so I might be missing on something.
I am, and
Like
I
I'm
don't
hiding.
think that I've heard many either.
The only thing I've heard is that they were not allowed to do any other like Team USA or something like that if they were doing the PCL. That was the only thing I heard.
I don't know if this is like a rumor, but I remember seeing something on Twitter that was like, when they saw double backs were legal, it was like, why would they do these? Like, those athletes are going to be tired in those routines. I'm like, why would we make them do something they're not going to be able to go do? Like, it's not like we're just forcing squad round off hand double backs. Like, it's like what Paige mentioned. There's no like, you need this number of this skill to get this. It is just entertainment, open, and then so that I think people don't realize how not like you have to do these skills. It's going to be how much more like the head-to-head, but then also the entertainment and more open-ended scoring for the routine.
That's why I feel like once that gets out and once people see it, it's gonna definitely blow up.
It's going to catch on, and people are going to, this is fun. This is interesting.
All right, one athlete you wish tried out.
Lainey Madsen.
Girl,
Dee Dee's spitting
we
it
gotta get
out.
on that.
Did you try and did you?
No, she's too broken. Her body's hurt over
She
gymnastics
said,
and
"I'm
cheer.
retired."
She had 17 shoulder dislocations, competed at Worlds with a broken nose. Physically, it's her body's just not doing it no more. But yeah, that would have been some skills we could use.
And it would have been cool for you two to coach her on there too.
Anybody that was on the wish list that didn't get there?
The person that I was just with him last week is Matt Torres. He's been on Team USA. He's coach at Weber State, and like he's on the older side in the cheer world, but like one of the best stunners, if not the best stunner, like kind of in this generation of and tumbles too. So he's a great person that I would love to have like got to experience like being a part of the first year of this.
On USA with him, and that was 7 years ago.
Yeah.
And he's still
still
on
doing
it. So
it.
he's still
But yeah.
he's still tumbling and being all the things.
He's amazing.
It's crazy.
All right. As coaches, the most overrated skill in cheerleading would be?
Oh, rewind.
I agree. A rewind, yes.
Front handspring.
Dude, he's calling people out.
I'm like, so we do those.
She said more, harder.
Great.
Well, it's just the
great
stuff that
skill.
we've been told we have to do.
I'm gonna
Yes,
say
no, it's a great
just a
skill,
straight up
but-
kick double basket.
Yeah.
Oh, that one
Overrated.
too. Yes, that too.
We've outgrown that now.
Outgrown it.
Yeah.
Don't, yeah.
And double downs.
I would like to see more of this. I was gonna say standing full's kind of boring now these days to me.
Standing double it. Let's go.
Toe double it.
Yeah.
Let's go. He said those Miami boys were going crazy, so let's see it. All right. On the flip side, the most underrated skill in cheerleading right now.
I feel like our whole sport is just so hard itself. Like it's obviously to us it's kind of easy in a sense because we've known it for so long. But like to teach someone to do those skills is it takes time and effort, and it's a physical challenge.
This is random, but it just popped in my head. Like a skill that I always used to like watching, but no one ever does it anymore, is like a full through to double or like a double through to double, like double back handspring back. I just think it's like fun to watch, unexpected, something people don't really do anymore.
I was always a sucker. I mean, this might be an easy skill, but a full step out to me was
Yeah.
just the most. It was
Pretty.
done
The
right.
visual.
The most
And it's
beautiful thing in the world.
beautiful.
Yes, full step. I have
It's
not seen that
pretty.
in such a long time. But just there was a time back in the day when it was like kind of like the in thing to do, and now it's. But a good full
100%.
step out, I'm here for all the time.
Not everybody can do it, but if you can do it correctly, it's beautiful.
What she said.
All right. So who's going to be the hardest coach to deal with here at this table? Whether they're going to bring like the hardest routine or you're like, I don't want to have to deal with that competitiveness. Who's it going to be?
They're gonna be extremely creative. They already competed the really hard stunts. Our routines have to look like something they've already done. So
Paige has thought about all of this.
I'm a thinker.
I think we all have our own strengths that I feel like it's going to be interesting to see how it plays out on that floor.
I don't know about them, but for me, Aiden is the other Dallas coach that I'm with. Him and I have never coached a team together, but he's been someone I've always wanted to coach with, and we have very different strengths. Like what he has and what I have are very complementing. So I'm excited to see how him and I, like that dynamic works.
On the flip side too, how have you all already learned from each other?
I mean, it is the first time we're actually meeting it all together.
Yeah.
So there's probably a lot to be learned.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of the beginning.
But I'm ready to learn.
Yeah, I know we've been on weekly calls virtually for probably like a month or two. And I think just not feeling like you're the only one feeling the stress or the unknown has been, reassuring.
So I have now a spicy question. Some would say maybe the $1 million question. Everybody wants to know this. What will these athletes be getting paid?
So as of right now, kind of the knowledge that we have where we're at with everything is each athlete will sign a contract or like an agreement that has their pay rate, and they'll be paid on like hourly rate. So they get paid for practicing, they get paid for while they're traveling to the events. They're like airfare, hotel, per diem for meals, all the competitions is all covered. And then as far as I know, they all have the same, like all the athletes in the initial year will have the same rate. And then they're getting an additional like bonus at the end of the season. So there'll be basically for them making it through the entire event season. At the end, they'll receive an additional payment as like a bonus.
Are you guys getting paid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tucker's like, I wouldn't be here if I wasn't.
Volunteering.
Ours is similar. We have
Paige is like, wait, y'all are getting paid?
a pay rate like that for like a coach's pay rate, and it'll be the same thing. So practice, competitions, all of that, we'll be getting paid just like the athletes are.
Okay. Y'all think in the future, maybe the long future, do y'all think that sum of whatever these athletes are getting paid could grow
Yes.
to support their life?
Yeah.
I think once the league starts growing and starts, rolling, I think it's gonna, it might, yes, for sure.
Because everything right now is like in-house, like it's being put on without a lot of external like sponsorship deals, like all those other things that help build a brand or build a team or an athlete. There's been no minimal exposure for any of that at this point.
This has been fun. This has been a lot of fun. Is there
I've learned so
anything, I know, we've learned so much in this, I don't even know how long, hour and a half. Is there anything else that y'all want to say or mention about the PCL? Anything that you know of so far? I'm sure we'll continue to learn so much more as, the PCL is underway and it actually begins. Anything y'all want to say before we peace out?
I just think I feel like I want it to be such a great experience for all 4 teams. I think everybody should have, get something super positive out of it, whether you win or not. But I think it's going to be something groundbreaking that, all 4 of us are going to get to experience, our kids, our teams, and I think it's going to be something super fun to watch.
Yeah, awesome. So bottom line, last question. Why should people buy into the PCL right now?
Yeah, I think whether you're directly involved in a team like we are, or if you just know somebody who's on the team, or if you're just in the industry and a fan of the sport, we are all getting to experience something being created, like from the ground up, established, and get to see it from day one. So just being, really enjoying that and the journey and the progression. What PCL looks like 3 years from now probably is not what it is going to look like in the next few months. So just being open-minded to what the opportunities are out there, and just I know that's how I feel. Like I'm just excited to be a part of it and see where it goes.
Yeah.
Everything great starts small. If you look at Team USA, at day 1 tryouts had barely a handful of people, and within years there's multiple countries and thousands of athletes trying out. So the beginnings are hard, but it's the first steps of creating something bigger with more opportunities for athletes.
I love it.
All right,
So
well, I
awesome.
have one more fun one to add for them before we wrap this up. I love to think about, like, how's that going to feel? How's it going to feel come January? You're at that first event in Indianapolis and you're huddled up with your team before they're about to take the stage for the first ever match of the FloCheer League. What do you think is going to be running through your mind?
You just made me nervous.
I'm like, it's anxiety across all of their faces.
Yeah,
Anxiety.
and just praying for everyone's safety because we're about to do things that people haven't done before. Yeah.
For me personally, I'm very excited. To be very honest, I don't know what to expect. So we're kind of going a little bit, we know we're going to be training, we know what we're doing, but that's going to be the first time that we're doing these events. So we're going to go a little bit blinded in there. So I don't know what to expect. I think it's going to be exciting. I think it's going to be for all of us, especially the first event. We're probably all going to be a little bit up and down. But at the end of the day, we will be training for that. So we're going to be prepared. And I think the most important thing is going to be making it exciting for the athletes, because it's going to be for them way more nerve-breaking or whatsoever that it's going to be for us.
I think what makes me feel better when I think about it is that we're all going through it together. So we don't know what to expect, but we'll be figuring it out together. So
Yeah.
we'll be okay.
I'm excited too. Like your question made me think of like seeing the team in their uniform for the first time, because it's different than just like it's going to be so unique. And then even like I have no idea what their uniforms look like right now. So
I know what yours looks like.
Whenever we like get to see, whenever we get to see like all 4 teams, like kind of it's like what their brand and how it's starting is. I think I'm really excited for that.
Awesome.
Well, Tucker, Paige, Dee Dee, Greg, thank y'all so much. This has been so much fun.
I think you heard it here first.
Yes,
the
you did.
FloCheer League is coming. The people aren't ready. It's going to be awesome. These are history makers getting ready to go. But stay tuned. January is when the FloCheer League will be taking the stage for the first time. We're so excited for you all, and we can't wait to watch it unfold.